Hey everybody, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, the chromatic harmonica, but specifically the optional slide F and C that is available on the standard tuned chromatic harmonica in the key of C. We are looking at F. Let's look at that one first. If you play whole number 2 draw, it's an F. If you stay there and just change breath direction and push the slide in, play F as a blow note. Super cool that we have two options for the F. It actually is to our advantage as harmonica players. And we also have the same phenomenon on hole number 4. You could play hole number 4 blow, it'll produce a C. A hole number 4 draw with the slide is also a C. So one of the advantages is just as a matter of expression. You could add a grace note to an F or a C, which you couldn't do if you played them the regular way. So let's say I'm playing an F blues. I'm playing a grace note on the F. So that's a cool thing that we wouldn't be able to do if we didn't have that option. Let's talk about a typical blues player who picks up a chromatic and plays in D. He's got I'm going to go up to this octave and talk about the F. F as a draw note. As a draw note, we could play a warble. As a blow note, with the slide, we can do ornamentations, not only the grace note, which I just demonstrated, but you could do turns. You can do the same kind of turn off of the C with the optional C. Anyway, as far as the blues, I'm going to stop. We're going to stop talking about blues on this topic. I'm going to talk about how do you decide when you're going to use the F or C. And I'm going to kind of switch gears from blues playing to what I call regular harmonica playing. I've been working on my regular harmonica playing. What is regular harmonica playing? My definition is playing melodies kind of straight, just like playing folky songs. And I just have been trying to be a more well-rounded harmonica player. And I also have been working on reading music. And when it comes to reading music, this whole thing with the alternate F and C is very important. And but I also want to tell you that it's not that big of a deal if you don't always make the right choice with the F or C. And like some things in life that, you know, it's like, are you making the right choice? Well, as long as you hit the note and you're hitting it in time and you got a good sound, nobody knows the difference. It's just a kind of a question of good habits and what I call harmonica ergonomics. And the best way that I can demonstrate this, we are going to look at the intervals of a major and minor third off of the F and the C. And you're going to see that this is just very clearly shows, like, between those two notes, an F and an A or an F and an A flat, which you would choose. So let's look at this. A is a draw note, that's hole 3 draw. Playing a major third off of the F, this is just an obvious thing. No slide, 2 draw notes, the holes are right next to each other. The same breath direction, same slide position, the holes are next to each other, it's a no-brainer. F to A. Let's talk about the minor third interval. In this case, it would be best to push the slide in and use the blow F because the note right next door is an A flat. Again, same breath direction, same slide position. It's the opposite of what we did. We're blowing and the slide is in. Check it out. Holes 2 and 3 blow with the slide in. So you can do a little exercise, try to keep a steady tempo, and go back and forth between these things. Same 2 holes, breath direction changes, slide position changes. We start on the draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do the same exercise off the note C. It's the same, almost exact kind of thing, except it's reversed. We start with blow notes for the major third interval, and then we go to draw notes for the minor third. Check it out. This is holes 5 and 6. The only difference here is that we got to shift down a hole when we do the minor third interval, so be aware of that. I didn't mention the weird phenomenon of the 2 C's right next to each other. It's something that I don't want to get into right now, but it's just a fact of the standard tuned chromatic harmonica. We've got holes 4 and 5 blow are the same note. Isn't it crazy? And it happens again an octave up. Got to be aware of it. Once you practice things, it becomes invisible, and it's not anything to trouble you. The 2 C's next to each other. Anyway, okay, so holes 5 and 6 are going to be the major third interval blowing on these 2 holes. Ready? Holes 4 and 5 draw with the slide are the minor third. So again, we can make an exercise out of this. You just have to remember to shift down a hole. Let's try it. I am going to play some arpeggio kind of things and stuff that's based off the root note F. And I'm going to show you that I use, well, I'm going to come up with every combination possible of, am I using the slide F or the slide C, as we do different arpeggios in the key of F. First of all, I want to show you the F major scale. I'll just let you know, my preference, and I think what flows the best, is to use the slide for both F and C. There's an advantage of the slide, is you can do those trills. Let's talk about the F arpeggio. This is a thing where you practice this stuff ahead of time. You get used to playing the slide for the scale, then you switch gears, and when you practice the arpeggio, let's just do the triad, F, A, C. We play them all as draw notes. It just makes sense. Remember F to A? We're going to add a C up here. So here's a combination. We're using the regular no slide vanilla F, and then we're using the slide C for this arpeggio, the major triad of F major. That's 3 notes right next to each other, and they're all draw notes. We're putting the slide in for the C. Let's talk about playing a major 7th arpeggio. That's just adding another interval. And the interval we're adding is a major third. It's C to E. So all of a sudden, we're going to switch gears here. This is, again, my preference. I think it works pretty well. No slide at all. We do have to skip a hole. Okay, so we're playing holes 2 and 3, and then we jump on up to 5 and 6 blow. So 2 draw notes and 2 blow notes. We got to skip a hole between those two. Check it out. So that's how I would play that arpeggio. Again, it's an example of switching. Like you could be in the same song just going back and forth and using all these combinations. You could be improvising and going back and forth. It's just kind of the reality of the instrument. But preparing this stuff ahead of time, like practicing the triad, practicing this 7th chord. We're going to do another 7th chord. We're going to flat that 7. In this case, that last interval is a minor 3rd interval between C and E flat. We're flatting the E to E flat. So when we go back to our major minor 3rd exercise, it makes sense. We're going to play this all draw notes. We push the slide in for C and E flat, and there's no skipping holes here. Then we're going to do the minor 7th. This one, we leave the slide in the whole time. We've got an interval of a minor 3rd between F and A flat, and then the interval of a minor 3rd between C and E flat. So the slide stays in. For this one, this is just an example of what if the chords are changing? What if the chords are changing? We got to modify our 7ths. If we're playing over some changes, we're modifying 7ths and 3rds. Then which F or C do you use? Good stuff to know. Leaving the slide in. Starting on hole number 2, 2 blow notes and 2 draw notes, and we're just moving up the harmonica. What if we play a minor arpeggio that has the major 7th on top? This is a legitimate musical thing that comes up. There's an actual chord voicing, and there's scales that go along with this arpeggio too. We'll talk about the scales in a second. But so this is a minor 3rd interval between the F and the A flat. Then it's that old major 3rd interval between the C and the E natural. So we're going to skip a hole. This is a weird combination of major minor. A minor chord that has a major 7th in it. It's kind of a haunting sound. If I played a Dorian scale, I'm going to use for sure the slide F and the slide C. I think it flows very nicely. However, if I'm switching to the natural minor scale, we take the Dorian scale and we're just flatting the 6th degree. We're just changing one note. So in that case, I use the blow C because I'm anticipating that I'm going to go up a half step, and I kind of would rather, instead of changing breath direction, I would just rather keep it as a blow note and push the slide in C to the D flat. And weirdly enough, it doesn't matter if it's hole 4 or 5, but you do have to think about what's the next note that you're going to go to. That's part of it. So I do a whole skip if I'm playing the scale. Another scale that has that flat 6 in it is the Harmonic Minor. This one we raise the 7th degree back up. This scale goes with that last arpeggio, the Harmonic Minor scale. So that works better for me to use that blow C to go to the D flat. Also, from a standpoint of slide ornamentation, it's a nice thing. This is a kind of thing, like this mode, or this scale, this harmonic minor scale, like a beginning chromatic player, as long as he's getting one note at a time, he may stumble upon this, he or she may stumble upon it by accident, but because it's a lot of just blow notes and wiggling the slide around. I may be improvising in that harmonic minor thing and then using that blow C because I want that ornamentation, but then say I want a C with a grace note on it, then I have to go to the slide C. So I'm like constantly switching back and forth, not just the same song, but like the same phrase possibly. So anyway, I hope this helps. Something to think about, the intervals of a major and minor third between the F, starting on F and starting on C. Anyway, I hope this helps.